Now, so we'll return to the regularly scheduled items on the agenda. So the next item we'll be considering is the approval for our proposed 2016-2017 local environment and development work program, item 13 or 15, depending on which one you're working off. Yes. Local environment and development work program. This is members, again, this is one that we've workshopped, and I don't recall there being any specific issues raised at the time. So there isn't an officer in support. So it's moved by Member Hale, seconded by myself. No, I said no officer. Oh, sorry, seconded by the Deputy Chair. And that's A, B, and C. All those in favour? Aye. Contrary? Carried. Item 14 or item 16, depending on which way you're operating, for the new road name approval for subdivision at 28 Kenmure Avenue, Forest Hill. Not to be Kenmure for much longer, and I apologise, members, but I've just picked one of them and put it in. So I'm going to move that the name that we approve is Oakett Way. Okay, well, I need a seconder first. Seconded by Member Hale. Just beat you there, Member Rose. So I didn't expect a debate on this, but Member O'Connor, are you?
I cannot believe it. I've never heard anything so horrible.
I thought it was. Okay. Anyway, is that the extent of the comment? Because otherwise I'm going to put the motion.
The one that they wanted. What did they want?
I didn't think there was an agreement.
T-Lane Place, or they wanted Teresa Terrace. That's a fancy saying, oh, we knew that.
Those were the ones that weren't approved.
They're the ones that were approved.
Right. So I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour? Contrary?
No.
Noted.
Carried. Would you like it noted, Member O'Connor? Okay. Item 15 or 17, the draft 2016 elected members expense policy. We've got in front of us, members, I can appreciate it's buried, but you do have the resolutions of the Kaupatiki Local Board on this issue in the very Christmassy coloured piece of paper at the top, green and red. I'm not sure if any comments of those nature want to be picked up. I think that they're fairly sensible, but otherwise I didn't have any specific comments on the policy. Sorry, we've just got, I know no one really pays attention to me at the start of the meetings when I say, please enter and exit through the same door.
Rogue public. Sorry.
Right, sorry. So the suggestions for changes.
No, I just wondered if there had been any, because there was some discussion.
I think we did discuss it, and I think we were interested in seeing what the Kaupatiki Local Board's specific resolutions were, and I'm looking at that and I see that, and that's fine. But in excess of that, I mean, I didn't really see any problem with any of the specific issues or proposed amendments. So unless a member wants to suggest something, I'm happy to move that we endorse it as is.
It was a table document.
Oh, it's a table.
The table document, this one. Half a page in red and green Christmas colours and black and white. So, that was the issue?
Yeah. It doesn't support
Oh, yeah. Number 3, okay, I'm not going to argue with that. I think that's sensible. So are we happy to basically reiterate the feedback from Kaupatiki Local Board aside from point Roman numeral 3? Yes? So if I'm moving it, do I have a seconder from the Deputy Chair? Seconded by Member Gillen. All those in favour? Aye. Contrary? Carried. That brings us What's item 18, or 20, the monthly services report? I'd rather go to Marilyn's report first. Sorry?
Let's do it again.
No. No. I think, sorry, I was looking at 18 being 20, but I take the point. Nice try. Points for trying. Marilyn, sorry. Please ignore my incessant ramblings. Item 17/item 19, the Auckland Transport monthly update for July 2016. Now, Marilyn, I think we understand the issues that sort of led to these items not being dealt with at the last meeting, and we've also had an opportunity to straw poll the members since then. So really, I think this has all been fairly well traversed, but is there anything further you'd like to add?
No, there's nothing further to add to the report. Everything's self-explanatory.
Okay, so resolutions A through D. Does anyone have an intention to move or second? Moved by Member Hale? Yes, I'm just wanting to get a mover and a seconder first. So seconded by Member Rowe. And we can now have questions. So just so we're clear, question time. I'll do this again when we get to debate time. Member Cohen.
I'm just querying, we are talking about the monthly update?
No. Sorry, we're talking about the Auckland Transport monthly update, but not the Local Board Services monthly update. Right, sorry, yes.
Just querying the...
My apologies.
The pedestrian crossing ended, I presume it's outside pedestrian zone. And I'm just trying to see, is it a solution looking for a problem? I mean, is there a safety issue there now? And sorry?
So just through you, Mr. Chair, as part of the optimisation and various tweaking that they've been looking at in Lake Road to make it work more efficiently, that work for the expanded pedestrian crossing at Takapuna Grammar was to make it wider to enable a larger bulk of children crossing quicker so that they can then adjust the signalling to give more weight to the traffic movements. So it's actually part of that whole optimisation. And whilst it's only minor tweaking, the engineers or the people within Auckland Transport that are doing that whole optimisation study felt that the widening of that crossing would make a significant improvement.
I've never seen a student there waiting because they couldn't all cross at the same time. They go en masse. I mean, I've never seen a situation where, oh, it's not wide enough, so I'm not going to cross the road. I haven't seen it. And does that mean that we're also taking down the fence again?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I don't know whether the fence is staying or going.
On the road?
But I do know that the crossing was there to actually enable the students to cross at a delineated point and not all over the place.
So the fence will have to go, because the fence was to channel them in a particular direction.
I can check. We have had the consultation out to the board members on it, so I can check.
So that feedback has been sought, but maybe, Marilyn, if you could clarify with the engineer so that Member Cohen's concerns could be addressed.
And I'll be interested what the schools come back with. You've just sent it out last week for their comments. Or they're on holidays still, so that's
It's gone out for consultation, yes.
Yeah, so
As a standard practice, Marilyn, you'll circulate the feedback or responses that you get from that. Thank you.
And just to comment that the new principal has been there for about 3 years or more, probably. I mean, he was new.
Okay, but not as principal.
No, as principal.
Oh, right.
Nick Hill's been there for a number of years, yeah.
Okay. Very good. Right, so moved and seconded. Question from Member O'Connor. Just to be clear, questions, but go ahead.
Are you talking on me?
I'm just clarifying that I'm calling upon you to ask a question, not a statement.
Where are we? Excuse, I don't like being good. Are you, Mr. Chair? Where are we, Marilyn, with the... I'm sorry, I feel as I'm bullied sometimes. So the last chair used to bully me too.
Member O'Connor, let's just be clear. Of the members so far,
I'm sorry, I don't like being bullied.
Member O'Connor, I'm just going to respond to that point because I find it offensive to suggest that I'm bullying you.
Sorry.
What I'm highlighting is that some members have taken advantage of the fact that there is a relaxed relationship between questions and statements. So I was just once again highlighting that we are asking questions at this stage. So you can now ask a question.
You can stop it. Marilyn, Sunninook, why are we still proceeding with that when we don't actually, that particular, the connections with that? Are we not going to be leaving that now until all the work has been done there in the park?
So the board initially raised the project as a local board transport capital fund project, which included the bridge connection within the reserve to the road, and the other portion of that project was the actual walking, cycling improvements from that point down through Sycamore, Cocaine, and connecting to the bus station. And the costs have come in, excluding the bridge, because we're in discussion with Auckland Council Stormwater to include that bridge portion within the reserve, to postpone that and do it as part of the stormwater work.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what we're looking at is just the portion that's on the road that's within Auckland Transport's area of responsibility.
Now, the other question, the final cost for the trek from Rosmini College, what has it gone up to now? From Rosmini to go over to Akarana Station?
Okay, so the additional cost for that project is 27,000.
And so what does the total make it?
And the total is 352. So, and that's because it's an old landfill site.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, it seems extraordinary, even if it wasn't a hard, even if it was sort of like a sand, surface or something like that, not a concrete surface. Would it not be cheaper? What do they call it?
Through you, Mr. Chair, it's still, it's a very boggy area in winter and it's very wet. So in order to get the walking, cycling connections through there, the surface that's been proposed is, I think, a hard surface and not a goby track or whatever that is. There's a higher maintenance cost involved in the other surfaces, from what I understand. Yes, yeah.
Thanks very much.
Right. So with that, Member Cohen.
Yeah, I just need a bit of advice on a way forward. Notwithstanding TGS's issues, where I do see a real potential safety issue is in regards to getting gravel reserve and trying to get across Forest Hill Road, which is going to be further exacerbated when we close down the Sunninook playing grounds. You're going to have even more young people, probably in the 10, 12-year-old age groups, coming up and wanting a way to cross the road, and there's nothing there at all. And so what I'm seeking advice on is how do we actually get it on the radar, somewhere along the line, that someone at least looks at it and says, is there a problem, isn't there a problem from an expert point of view?
I think the way you get that brought up is the way you've just done it, where you've alerted Marilyn to it. You don't need to do that at board meetings, but I think you've just done so. So Marilyn?
Is that okay?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I am aware that our engineers received a request from Parks asking us to actually look at the traffic movements and the walking and cycling in that vicinity. So I know it is under investigation as part of that East Coast Road Corridor Management Plan. You'll recall that that has come to the board, and that lower portion is in Devonport-Takapuna. So
And that'll cover the Forest Hill side?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
So it's still a body of work underway, but I can give you an update of where we're at with the work. In
Great.
hand. Yeah.
Following that, Mr. Chair,
Okay, another question from Member O'Connor.
could you follow up what happened to the design for the lights? That there was a big design done for the lights at the corner of Aberdeen Road, that intersection. Because of the speed of the cars, one woman, bearing in mind, has been killed there at that intersection.
Can I just clarify, you mean Aberdeen and Beach or Aberdeen and...
No, Aberdeen and East Coast Road. Sorry? No,
Okay.
but it's a very dangerous intersection.
Okay.
The cars have to, the buses have to go up in the footpath to leave. I'm just saying, I just wondered what happened with it. A lot of work was spent on the design there.
Just because Councillor Wood does seem to have an awareness of the project, do you mind providing an update? Because I don't recall having seen this item.
years ago,
I know.
10 years
We
ago.
dealt with it.
And
We dealt
obviously
with
it was,
7 years ago.
it was obviously put aside, and if this
I
board,
gone into the
well,
watch.
if this board really is the body to bring it forward, and if you haven't brought it forward, well,
Well, I'm doing it.
you can't blame anyone else than.
No, I'm not blaming anyone.
Member O'Connor, there is no need to constantly talk over another member. I would point out that that is a form of bullying. So let's just be very, very careful with what members' speaking rights are.
And 3 years
It's only bullying when it happens to you, it would seem, Member O'Connor. Right, let's get back to the item. So with that on board, Marilyn, do you mind adding that into your consideration and explorations? Right, so the motion's been moved and seconded. All those in favour?
Aye.
Contrary? Carried. Thank you very much.